Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about accepting reality and why it sometimes feels like saving your progress in a game. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, comment, subscribe. We are looking for more family members to join the family. It's a pretty cool community. That's all we care about. So you can hear storytelling, life stories, advice, and much more. Honestly, this is a place for you to come and chill and escape from reality a little bit. You're probably wondering, hey, Wave, how did you get to this topic? Well, I've just been living life. It's pretty simple living life and taking accountability. And I get it, it's easier said than done. Ever since I was a child, I always been a deep thinker. And as I got older and started partaking in activities that alter my mindset, if you know, you know. And this allowed me to really explore who I am as a person. Every single day, I'm always thinking to myself, who am I? And I just run through how I feel about myself, how I feel about certain topics, certain relationships that I have with people. This is where I really get to go deep into my thought process and analyze my feelings and get to the core reason of why I feel the way that I feel. And honestly, I don't think a lot of people do this because it requires a certain level of accountability. And I used to be a person where I was scared of accountability. But as I got older, it's just like, how am I going to live the life that I want to live or simply just a happy life if I can't come to terms with myself? You can't be anti conflict. Conflict is a must in order to grow in life. Coming from someone just like that, I always used to avoid confrontation. Now, I really don't care for confrontation. And that mindset right there, it just switched. I have what you call synesthesia. I believe that's the term where you hear music, right? And let's say you close your eyes, you can see things. For me, I mastered that skill, especially during COVID when I was doing a lot of mushroom trips. And so with this, it allowed me to even explore this skill set. So whenever it gets triggered, I can essentially build this dream world around how I'm feeling about a certain problem, characters to be there. It's an entire world just built. And the whole purpose of living in this alternate world is for me to find a core reason of how I'm feeling and come up with solutions. There will always be a point in my life, and I always know this is pretty much the stage before that door opens, is accepting reality to really pull myself away from me as a person and kind of look at it from a different point of view. And so it allows me to be unbiased, objective, and I'm analyzing my life. Where am I? What am I doing? What have I been doing? What are some bad habits I've been partaking in? What is something that's stressing me out? What is something that's giving me anxiety? And I get into this deep self therapeutic session that it can go on for days sometimes. And when I first started doing this, I was pretty much unhealed and I had a lot of trauma to unpack. And so it was very painful for me mentally. I didn't really know how to navigate this new process of thinking. And so it took longer. It was more emotionally and psychologically painful. Spiritually, I was inexperienced, but I will always hit that same point, accepting reality. The special thing about this is, of course, accountability, but you're being real with yourself. You had the opportunity to audit your life in a sense and be honest with yourself, completely honest. There's times where I hit this stage and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? What have you been doing with your life, honestly? You should be ashamed of yourself. You need to be doing better. You're not where you want to be in life. And I'm really just brutally honest. This is just surface level honesty with myself. I can go really, really extreme if I wanted to. And one day I probably will let y'all know a story like that. I'm taking this feedback from myself, but it's also from a different point of view. And I have to remove my ego. Removing your ego is the best chance to healing. Your ego is there to protect you. If you're someone who is like me, deeply depressed, your ego has pretty much trained you to feel comfortable in negative feelings. So whenever you encounter positive feelings, you feel uncomfortable. That is not your norm. And I'm here to let you know that's not healthy. Yes, living in these negative feelings is comfortable, it's home to you, but it is not you. And this took me forever to finally overcome. But the day I defeated my ego was the day that my life changed permanently. Your ego don't want you to be honest with it. Your ego is there to basically be a yes man or a yes woman. Yes, you're right to feel sad. Yes, you're right to feel depressed. Yeah, you're right to feel like this. You're right to sabotage relationships. You're right to do this, do that, do this, do that, and a whole laundry list of stuff because, hey, I'm down and out. I'm depressed and I'm sad. And that's a valid reason for all this. Listen, if I'm going to be honest to myself and authentic to y'all, you're living a lie. You're setting yourself back. When you beat your ego, you have discipline that most people will never reach. Life is about you versus your ego, you versus your mind, your spiritual body versus the flesh. And it's a hard battle. Well, I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all and be like, this is the easiest battle ever. It took me to getting to the point of having to be tired of the way that I'm feeling. And if you're someone who's a fighter, who don't like to give up, oh boy, you have a journey. That's how I was. But it got to the point where life was so bad for me. It was so negative for me. I had to look myself in the mirror and accept reality and say to myself, I'm tired of feeling the way that I am feeling. I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of being riddled with anxiety. And the second you had that light bulb moment go off, you are free. Let me tell you that. Accepting reality, it's all about freeing yourself. Like I said, I do this multiple times a year. Some people will call this an ego death. You have to clench your ego. You had to break down and destroy your ego in order to rebuild it up. You had to reprogram it. I reprogram my ego. And sometimes, yes, your ego will try to revert back to its old ways. But the moment you stay on it, you keep these techniques, these life lessons, the feeling of love. I can't exaggerate the feeling of love. It took me 10 years, but I didn't have guidance. I didn't have someone like me talking to y'all. I had to learn this stuff the hard way. I had to go through the heartbreaks. I had to go through the bad times, the struggles, this, that, and the third. I had to. My heart had to get shattered, stepped on, destroyed, rebuilt. Most importantly, I had to forgive myself. A lot of us can't forgive ourselves, but we can forgive other people who done us wrong. I'm talking about did us nasty. We can forgive them, but we can't forgive ourselves. You can only count on you. Let me get that right. You only have you at the end of the day because nobody knows you better than you. I don't care what your parents say, your girlfriend, boyfriend, sister, brother, grandparents. I don't care what anybody say. Only you know you 100%. Accepting reality is life changing, and it's such simple advice to give you. I went from being depressed to having the happiest life that I ever had. I left a job that I hate, and I got a new job that I love, and it pays more. I'm traveling more. I'm no longer in a toxic relationship. I found the love of my life. I found a new passion, and this is YouTube and storytelling. I wish I was there to see me. For someone who was just completely depressed, had no life, had no aura to them, had nothing, just no positivity oozing out of them, to being a person where my aura, my energy, it's bright, it's effective, it's powerful, it's there. Having a positive mindset every single day. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. There are some days you just gonna get down and out, and you just think about, man, my life can be this. My life. That's cool. You're always gonna have those thoughts. That's just your ego reverting back to itself. But when you accept reality, you increase your stores for gratitude. You start appreciating life. You start appreciating nature. Man, I'm just grateful that I can wake up and live another day. I'm grateful I got food on the table. I'm grateful I got a house to sleep in, a couch to sleep on, food on the table, a job. And the gratitudes just keep going and going and going and going. The key to life is love and gratitude. As humans, we make life too complicated. We got to do is just love ourselves and then love and appreciate one another. I promise you, life will be beautiful. But if I can end this video with some advice, simplify. In order to change your life to the life that you truly want to live, one, learn who you are. Learn every aspect of you, whether it's shameful or not. Two, forgive yourself. A lot of us can't receive or give love because we can't forgive ourselves. We are blocking our own self from the best feeling that a human being can ever experience love. Three, once you do the first two steps, I want you to think about the way that you are feeling. What is the core reason, the anchor to this depression, the sadness, whatever you're feeling negatively? I want you to find it. I want you to find a solution. Four, once you do all three, I want you to take accountability. For example, Wave, you have not been doing what you needed to do. You have been lacking. You have no discipline. You lack urgency. You lack feeling. You're no better than where you were years ago. Look at all this time it passed from when you graduated high school to now. What have you done? What are some of your achievements? And it's conversations like this that you need to have in this fourth step. And once you do all four, start to appreciate life. Start to find that love for yourself again. Take it easy. Be patient. There's going to be days where you revert back to your old ways of thinking. Every time you revert or had the thought about reversing, replace that with something positive, something that you're grateful for. Accepting reality is like saving your progress in a game. How many of us have made so much progress in a game and we never saved it? And let's just say you accidentally turned off, it got unplugged, the power went out, the game froze up, and you realize you just lost all that progress, all that blood, sweat, tears you put into it, the hours, the energy, the commitment, the time that you will not get back. That is the same of never accepting reality. Accepting reality is simply a checkpoint in life that means you are progressing.